Here we have the skull of a woman who had syphilis 500 years ago. This was a bad case of the syphilis where it degenerated even her skull. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. If you're new to Mortal Faces, welcome. Here on my channel I transform people to see how they might have looked in real life. Lots more on my channel, subscribe for more recreations, and let me know in the comments who you want to see next. Syphilis began either in the Americas and or Europe way before the 1500s when this woman was alive. You see, it really started to become more common in the 15, 16, 17, and 1800s. But what existed before that was a pre-evolution stage of this bacteria. There's a strain in the Americas in the Yucatan Peninsula dating over 9,900 years ago, and there are also remains in Europe that have syphilic-like symptoms. So it's still a research in progress as to where it originated, but there is one thing for sure, and that this disease really exploded in the last 300 years. For example, in the 1700s, about 1 in 5 people caught it in London. Syphilis develops in stages, and the symptoms change depending on the stage. It could begin with a small sore where the bacteria entered the body. That sore can be painless, and it can even be hidden internally, so you might not notice it, and then it goes away. After that, you might get rashes appearing. This is stage 2, and it can be itchy or not itchy. Following this, you can develop wart-like sores in the mouth or the genital area, hair loss, achy body, fever, sore throat, fatigue, and swollen lymph nodes. And this is your body reacting to the bacteria, realizing that it's still in you, and trying to remove this foreign invasion, almost like when you have the flu. Today, we have antibiotics that kill it, but back then, there wasn't. So if you're lucky, your body can get rid of the symptoms. However, you still have the infection and can still spread it. You can spread it through direct contact with the sores, the rash, or even bodily fluids. Symptoms can come and go, or they may never even come back. But over years, if it's untreated, this bacteria can develop from the secondary stage into a third latent stage. And it's in this stage that you have the major health problems, including death, because the bacteria travels and it deposits itself wherever it wants, like your bones, causing inflammation, infection of the bone marrow, and the breakdown and destruction of the tissue. It can go into the brain, it can go into the nerves, the eyes, the ear, the heart, basically anywhere in your body, and it causes this inflammation, pain, nerve damage, blindness, and even saddle nose where your nose can collapse. And in a more disgusting manner, rotted flesh. So your body realizes that it can't get rid of this bacteria, and as a final idea, it creates gummas. These are non-cancerous tumors that your body creates by itself to wall it off and prevent it from spreading. However, these gummas can also block blood and oxygen flow. This causes tissue and organ failure, which means you begin to rot. Just like our woman here. 500 years ago, there were no antibiotics. This is her skull. It was so bad that we can see the breakdown and deformity of the bone. No doubt, this late-stage infection would have caused her to have growths, pus, blood, raw open wounds, especially at the worst parts of the top and sides of her skull. It would not have been a pretty sight, nor a nice-smelling one. She would have been in pain, and this is a case that was so severe, the skull was actually riddled with bone lesions. She would have been about 23 to 30 years old. Luz, venereal disease, Cupid's disease, grand gore, Spaniopoccus, this bacteria that imitates symptoms of other diseases, and the only way to get rid of them is to use force. But at this time, they didn't have antibiotics until 1943, so they just soothed it with mercury. But the bacteria was still there, and you died. Syphilis was both gruesome and terrifying. Unlike the Black Death, those infected might endure pain, anguish, and disfigurement over decades before succumbing to a lingering death. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more videos. Each of your subscriptions does help this channel grow. It allows me to continue making more content for you. Let me know in the comments who you want to see next. I do make a list of all your suggestions, and I will see you in the next one.